all of us. So I want it to be more attractive, right? I want it to be more attractive, more interactive among all of us. So, and especially this session needs a lot of interaction. You can see that guy shouting, right? I've seen that guy shouting. Is it a familiar face anytime? I thought of keeping Pawan's picture, but I thought, no, wait. Yeah? Can you all hear me clearly to the back? Okay. So, this topic was chosen by Pawan among many topics that I gave. So, the topic name is what? Wrong messages, big damages. Have your messages done any big damages anytime? Yeah? People have lost contracts. People have lost spouses. Isn't it? It can also happen. Yeah, one wrong message at the wrong time, and you are done for good, isn't it? So see, I'm not here to teach you. Just I'm here to remind you. So all of us are very intelligent to know what kind of wrong messaging we are doing, isn't it? Many times when you do the wrong message, you already know. I have done it. Oh yeah, I have done a mistake, right? So today's session is to remind each other that there are some fundamentals if you follow, then the chances of wrong messages are less. Okay? So I'll go a little fast because I don't want it to be a slide session. I prepared this deck, so there is one good quote I saw. Your communication is complete when you ensure that the opposite party has understood your message. Right? A lot of people have a wrong belief about communications. They think communication means good English. They think communication is good slides. They think communication means any other thoughts? Good body language, right? What else? Any other thought? What is good communication? Huh? No thoughts? Yeah, so many people think many things, right? But the fundamental thing is very simple. Has the opposite party understood your message or no? Isn't it? See, this presentation, I gave it to children from 8 to 10 years old. We have a group of families. Same presentation I did to 8 to 10 years old. All the examples were different. All the way of speaking is different. Because they can't understand if I speak like this. Isn't it? And the way you speak to 8 to 10 year old, if you speak to companies, some CEOs or CFOs, that also is not going to work. Right? So you should know how to communicate with whom. So communication skills. This is one of the communication skills that we're going to learn today. So there are a few things that we'll go through. If I'm obstructing your view, what is the requirement for this? We'll try to define that. And world of messaging, how messaging has changed over a period of time, how we used to message, how we are messaging now, and factors that lead to wrong messaging, right? And what can go wrong, and some personal and impersonal messaging. Do you know the difference between personal and impersonal messaging? Have you heard the word impersonal messaging? Impersonal messaging means your WhatsApp. Impersonal messaging means your emails. Impersonal messaging means your SMS, which barely people use now. Right? Impersonal message is any kind of messaging where you're not speaking to the person directly. It's called impersonal messaging, right? So most of the world has turned towards impersonal messaging. Yeah. So we'll discuss about personal, impersonal, and some recommendations. I want to spend more time on this recommendations to make it impactful. Right? And feel free to come forward and add your thoughts also. Paul, please feel free to jump in. It's like a very informal topic, but very important topic. So, how to fix a situation caused by wrong message? That also is important, right? So, I messed up. How do I fix it? So, I'm not only going to define a problem, we are also going to define the solution. How are we going to do that? Okay? Okay. So, I'm messaging properly. Let's find out. So, requirement and objective. It's very important that whenever you take up any subject, right? For example, your customer will ask you to speak on any topic. This is one of the presentation skills. You write your requirement very clearly and you put an objective, what you're going to achieve today. Otherwise, your whole topic can go in different directions. How many agree with this? You need to have a requirement. So what is the requirement in the market now? Today's biggest problem is clear communication. People are not communicating clearly. That is the biggest problem, right? Requirement. Second, lot of business transactions are happening just on messaging around the world. So the communication has to be far more clear. And remove the chance of mistakes. So this is a requirement. So what are we going to achieve today in objective? we're going to make everyone aware of the consequences of wrong messaging. We'll discuss a little about what are the consequences of wrong messaging. Okay? And next, to explain the various mediums of messaging and the importance. And finally, to establish a framework to facilitate whereby we don't commit those kind of mistakes again. Like we send messages that doesn't cause damages. Right? So these are the three things we'll try to achieve today in the next 1.5 hours. Okay, let's go now. So communication skills empowerment program. So there are many things you have to work on in the communication tree. I call it a communication tree. So here is your language skills, verbal and body. If that is the soil, right? A tree grows on that, right? And the tree is filled with passion for the subject. See, you can't communicate properly if you don't have passion for the subject. Isn't it? Whatever you're speaking, you should be passionate about it. So that's very, very important. On that passion stands many principles like clarity, consideration, completeness, consciousness, courtesy, correctness, all these things will fall on that. That's the stem of the communication. It's a big, I want to cover this on some other day about the communication tree, right? So on this tree stands the faith and trust. There are 7 seminars actually in workshops which will make you effective in your communications. 7 things. Today's topic is only one of them, right? So
can you check if online viewers can listen to you clearly?
It's not online.
Nobody online?
No, we didn't keep on. We'll send the recording. So, guys, there are 7 topics: oral communication, presentation skills, meeting etiquettes, wrong messages with damages, Eastern words, Western meanings, cross-cultural communication, and documentation skills. These are all coming under communication skills, right? So, over a period of time, we will try to cover this. So, we as the Laurenites will be trained in communication, module by module. Are you all game for it? Right? Let's go step by step. Slowly we'll learn. Now, these kind of courses will not bring a transformation in you on day one. You have to work on them. And slowly over a period of 6 to 7 months, you will see a difference in the way you talk, the way you interact, everything will change. So these all skills are primarily needed for 2 things: success in projects and good relationships. Both of them are affected by communication, right? These are more relationship driven, this is more. But somewhere in between is this wrong message and big damages. If you don't fix this, then no matter how good communication you have, you're going to put yourself in trouble, right? So we are going to focus on these areas. Okay, the world of messaging now. Tell me, what is the difference between a rich person and a poor person in once upon a time? Just tell me, what can be the difference between a rich person and a poor person? Just general. What comes to your mind? What does a rich person do that a poor person doesn't do?
The way of lifestyle.
Way of lifestyle. He'll go to Mauritius, right? The poor person will go to, I don't know, somewhere, maybe a small park. What else?
The way they communicate.
The way they communicate, yes.
Letters versus email, letters versus going in.
Yeah. See, a rich person can have a different kind of entertainment. Is that true? Mostly, people want to become rich because their types of entertainment change. Right? They want to go and spend on expensive things and all that. Right? But if you really see this lady sitting in a BMW maybe, and this fellow is, actually the light is not clear, but this fellow is a beggar. Both of them are holding a mobile. And both of them are spending 23 hours or 20 or 24 hours on mobile only. So is there really a difference between entertainment of poor person and rich person? Right? So in this age of internet, we have crossed all those barriers. So no more you can say, hey, I am rich, I have a different kind of entertainment. Even you are seeing mobile. Even a beggar is seeing mobile. You are also seeing the same YouTube video. He is also seeing the same YouTube video. Isn't it? Yeah. So the world has changed. The way we look at things have changed. Right? So here, you can see these are like, maybe this is like 2016 slide. Right? I wish these numbers would have been visible. There are more, in 2016, there were more than 1 billion subscribers of WhatsApp. 1 billion. Right? With 4G and 5G coming in, I don't know now how many subscribers WhatsApp has. Practically, the planet is running on few apps. Isn't it? 2012, nobody would have imagined that an app can rule the world. Today, WhatsApp Telegram. What other messaging you have? Instagram, Snapchat, right? So many. See, I remember those old days. Somebody in the 40s might concur with me here. The biggest thing was for us to get into Yahoo chat rooms. Remember the Yahoo chat rooms? Get in there and then you get into the web. Try to find somebody. I will not tell who. But that was the kind of life we had, right? Now the whole scenario has changed. So much people are online. So much people are 1 billions, billions and billions. Different tools are there. So there were prayers. For the prayers to be conveyed, we had pigeons at one time, isn't it? You want to pray for somebody, there was a pigeon. So then it became advanced into letters. Then it became advanced into telegrams. Remember the telegram days? Telegram came. You don't know. You must not have born by that time. You have seen the telegrams, right? And emails. Then they became SMS. Email became SMS. SMS became messengers. Yahoo Messenger. Remember that? Yeah. And then chat rooms. And then finally WhatsApp. And then fights and back to prayers. Isn't it? Back to prayers. How do I fix the problems I've created? So prayers have come back to prayers again. We have so many fights happening. Even just now, you wouldn't believe. I was speaking to somebody who works in a big pharma company, and so I sent a message. He sent a message in a group. He completely misunderstood my message. He sent a voice message. Then I started playing the voice message to answer him. Then I realized, you know what? I know his number. Why don't I just pick up the phone and talk to him? I talked to him. Everything got resolved. He said, "Oh, this is what you meant. I didn't understand that." Right? So many fights can be closed just by picking up the phone and giving each other 2 minutes with an open mind, right? So which is something we'll learn today. So back to the beginning, we are here to pray. Achievements in the world of messaging. Flexibility, isn't it? Too much flexibility. Earlier, if I have to email somebody, I have to go find a computer. Now I can literally keep my phone like this, talk, and my talk is getting converted into words. And the big message can be sent now with WhatsApp, web. People can write, I don't know, paragraphs of typing, isn't it? Flexibility. What else? Real-time content. Guys, in front of your eyes, you can see frauds happening on you. We discussed the word sometime back. Real-time, right? In front of everything is real-time. You send them. How much time do you think it takes to spread a rumor worldwide? One rumor worldwide. How much time? Huh? I think a minute. Is a minute too long?
Just a second.
All 180 countries. 180 countries, a rumor you have that capability. Do you know that? Each one sitting here can impact 180 countries if you really want to. That is the situation today. Right? It can create havoc. Like one wrong message in Bangladesh destroyed so many temples. Have you heard of that recently? One wrong message. It was a wrong message that somebody took some other book and kept it somewhere, and the whole country got burned. By the time they found out, it was done by mistake by somebody. It was not even intentional. Right? One message, see how dangerous it is. Communal, religious issues. And not only that, even suicides. How many of you have visited for at least one cybercrime to police station here? No, right? Better, I won't want you to do that, but the day you go, you will realize that there's a big line of people standing there with so many complaints. You know, somebody has made a video of somebody in an uncomfortable situation, he has floated it. Right? And then there is a complaint. So much things is happening. So anyway, instant, everything is instant. And cheap cost, right? I used to live in Middle East, I tell you. This was 2003. To call from Middle East to India would cost my 10% of my salary. You know, I used to get that calling cards. I don't know how many of you use that. Even from America to call, we used to get some calling cards, and we used to. And the thing is that if you cut the call, you know, the big money will be gone, and you can't call again, or you lose a lot of money. You can continuously talk for 2 hours for less cost, but if you make 3 calls, it will get over in 10 minutes. Something like that, some kind of technological. You know, then came VoIP, right? Now, We can call any part of the world, isn't it? On your finger. Are you paying for it? No, it's all free. WhatsApp calling, right? Telegram calling. Now, I don't know what all features are going to come. You can have a conference call in WhatsApp with 10 people. Sometimes you can just click it and the whole world will get a call. Who is there in the group, isn't it? It's craziness. It's craziness. Yeah, call free anywhere. Yes, messaging is robust today, but we need to know how to act in such fast messaging world. It's very important. How many of us are trained to? How many of us are trained to know how to act in this kind of situation? We are not. None of us are trained. We are so far we are okay. We are just handling it, but you don't know what damage it can do. If you don't know at certain times what happens. Say for example, some rumor is spread on you, and you get that message yourself. What are you going to do with it? Do you know what to do with it? You don't know, right? You don't know. Anything can happen. What is that AI in artificial intelligence? You have this Chat GPT, not Chat GPT. Practically, they can make your image. Huh?
Natural language understanding and natural language processing.
Natural language processing. You know how scary it is. Somebody can make a fat person like me stand here, put my face on somebody else, and literally speak as if I am speaking. Do you know that? There is no more authenticity of who is speaking and who is not. Those are the days we are living right now. And it is only going to become worse. You know, sometimes the intentions, I don't know what are the intentions behind those inventions, but they are very dangerous, right? Your face can be put on somebody else's body, and you are speaking things that you never spoke with expressions. You know, recently I saw a video of Donald Trump, I think. It came, I felt it was him speaking. I literally felt he was speaking. Then suddenly somebody made a joke out of it, no? Then suddenly he started speaking Bengali. Donald Trump speaking Bengali. Then I realized, my God, this is not a video that is he made, right? Then he started speaking Telugu. Right? Then I understood this is made up video. But it was so good that even Donald Trump would doubt, you know, looking, did I speak or did I not? It is so dangerous, right? So that's technology for us. How messaging has changed over the time? Yes. So messaging in the past, right? Few things. Some things you have to learn from history also, right? Some really good things. I've been in 90s, you know, I've been in 90s, some of you are in 90s here. So what we saw is range of impact. Our range of impact by sending a message was maximum within the house or maximum one person, isn't it? In the colony, one person. That's all it was. I would not, even if I want to, I can't impact in a big way. Next, engage the audience based on need. I wouldn't have an audience that I don't know. How many of you here have messaged to people you don't know? Picture it. All of you have done that. You really have all the people you know in your WhatsApp groups? If you go to your WhatsApp group, how many percentage people you actually know in that WhatsApp group? Whether it's your apartment group, whether it's your community group, or even your college alumni, how many people do you really know in that? I can practically take your phone right now and prove you that 90% people you don't even know. Am I lying?
No.
Yeah? Guys, it's very dangerous. We don't know whom we are dealing with, right? We don't know which psycho is sitting in the other side. We don't know how your messages will be used, right? But in olden days, that problem was not there. I knew my people who are messaging, very, very clear, right? Source is more important than content. In old days, we would ask, what is the source? On what basis are you sending? Now nobody is looking at the source. Internet is a wild thing, guys, you know. If I go and type, is Crocin good for me? In Google, so many people will go into depression here, right? What happens if I get a headache? Just type it. You will get a shock of your life. It will say, maybe it's cancer. Right? That is the internet we are dealing with. We don't know what is the source. We don't know what is, some Tom, Dick and Harry has written some article and it shows up there. Right? Even when it comes to religion, nobody reads the scripture. Nobody reads the scripture. What is there in Bhagavad Gita, nobody knows. But everybody has his own Gita. Everybody can say whatever he wants and becomes Gita. Isn't it? Yeah, so the source is not important. Today, people are only worried about how beautiful it is presented, so it is good. Right? That's a very dangerous thing. Earlier, that was not the case. Parties involved would meet before making major decisions. Here, people just message each other and make big decisions. But in old days, messaging would not lead to decisions. Messaging is only a medium to meet. Right? For example, I say, let's meet in the park. That was the message. But now we are deciding everything before only. Right? So anyway. Originality of message maintained, less chance of tampering. Can you tamper with others' messages? How many of you know that when I reply all to your email, I can go down and change the whole damn mail below without your notice? Right? I can change some lines, I can remove so many things. You can tamper with anything today, with anything. And there are so many people who have written APIs on WhatsApp, Telegram. They think they are safe, but I can go backdated, and in your phone I can change the messages. And I can come back and prove that this is what you wrote. You know that? But in earlier days that was not there. Never send message to audience who don't have the capacity to handle it. Right? In old days, you know your audience. See, these days, your child might access your phone without your knowledge. There is a college group I have, and even though we are, like I'm 47, my friends are also 48, 47, even now they want to send some cranky photos and pictures and videos. I had to exit that group because now my son is browsing my phone. Right? I don't want to watch it, I don't want him to watch it either. So the access is completely haywire, whatever you're using. Right? Next, speaking needs qualifications and maturity. Earlier, for somebody to come and speak about a subject, he needs qualification and maturity, most importantly. These days, anybody can speak anything. How many can make a presentation on any random topic in the next 2 hours? You all can make? Just Google it. Right? Go to slideshare.com. There is a website called slideshare.com. Go put your topic. Somebody has made a presentation for that. You will go ahead and present it without a maturity of handling the subject. Are you following what I'm saying or too? Okay. Intent of messages sent universally was always to serve. See, earlier messaging was done for a purpose. The purpose was to serve others, to help others. Now it's not like that. And basis of freedom of speech was respectful dealings. Freedom of speech means what? I want to speak whatever I feel like. I don't care whether you like it or not. Have you heard this message anywhere? Yeah? Accept me as I am. Have you heard this sentence? Accept me as I am. Do you really think that's practical? Just think about it. Accept me as I am. Why should I accept you the way you are? If you are behaving like a donkey, I will treat you like a donkey only, right? Right? If you're behaving like a well-cultured person, you'll be treated like that. But that's not a license. Freedom of speech, while messaging is not a license to do whatever you feel like. There is something called a culture, there is something called a society. Right? Major conflicts come when people speak casually when they are not supposed to speak casually. Who gives you the liberty of speaking casually? You have to think about these things. This is where the conflicts come. And logical questioning and humble answering. And finally, evaluation of message impact on the people. You would assess how the message will impact others, then only your message. Basically, in totality, if I see all these things and I put an abbreviation, what does it say? Responsible. Right? My communication in past days was a very responsible communication. Very responsible. I would choose, I would do what is needed. How many agree with this? Yeah? Okay. Now let's go forward. How is it today now? Now this is 2017. Okay? Present scenario, we are 5 years later. I had done this presentation in one college, 2017. So I didn't change the slide. So vast platform to bring the whole world's attention today. I've already discussed this, so I'll not go on length. Right? Next, everyone can send a message to anyone. Isn't it? You can practically send it to anyone, everyone can send. Rapid pace at which rumor can be spread. We discussed about it. You can quote or misquote anyone and ruin anyone's reputation. You can choose to quote. Even the videos that you see in the internet, let me tell you, some people might have told something provocative. But what happened before that? What happened after that? We don't know. And you start commenting on that. See, it's a tendency. You go to customer's place, you're discussing something, customer says something, I know about it, you say something. But you don't know what happened before that and what happened after that. Can you tell one incident where somebody's life got ruined because that particular video was misquoted?
One of the guys from Punjab, I believe, so there were like one lady reported saying
Yeah.
that he was being so the video was actually they shot and they posted.
It can happen. It can happen. Right? Have you heard of a name called Nupur Sharma? Her life is ruined. Right? Because somebody took a content from somewhere, what happened before? I'm not supporting her. I'm just saying how something that we speak, even what I'm speaking right now, my video can be taken. Minute number 2, minute number 5, minute number 6. I'll join all the 3 together. Different message will come out. Right? So that is a dangerous, very, very dangerous thing. What we are speaking, we have to be really, really watchful today. Dare to say anything in the name of speech. We can dare to say anything. How many of you agree that you can chat rudely and not speak rudely? You can chat rudely and not speak rudely. Right? You agree, right? It's very easy to go and chat rudely. Even to your boss. What? Forget about boss. Even to your own parents. You can be very, very rude with them. Isn't it? But if they come in front of you, will you be so much rude? We will not do that. Right? So this is something that people are doing these days. Anyone can become popular just by sending one message. Right? I can say I know him, and become popular. No layer of respect with anything being impersonal. There is no respect. When you're talking to somebody impersonally over the emails, right? Over the phone is a good thing at least. But chat is very, very dangerous. Guys, one of the things I'm going to again and again tell in today's discussion is go talk to people. Go talk to people. Don't ruin your relationships by sending messages. This messaging doesn't help. Ultimately, you have to pick up the phone or go and talk to that person. Even, I'll tell you, dealing with customers, dealing with vendors, dealing with difficult people also, just go and talk to them, you'll understand what's going on. Gory messages, filthy language, very easy. These days, earlier, there was one movie that came when I was in my 10th grade or 11th grade. That must be like 94 or 95. One movie called Kool and Devi came. How many of you know about that movie? Yeah, now you don't know, but then it was a big thing. Why? Because one bad word was used in that movie, which came in the theaters. Right? One bad word, and that bad word is, I don't want to repeat that bad word. Now, 500 bad words are openly coming in TV serials. Right? And you are sitting with your children and watching it. And what are you telling your child? Don't do that. Isn't it? Filthy language and gory images have become a part of life. Right? Pornography, nonsense on the internet, anybody can access. If you think, somebody is not, you're a fool. But that is how bad it is. Right? The internet, that's what it has done. Every emotion, whether mature or immature, is out for public judgment. Somebody is crying, public judgment. Somebody is laughing, public judgment. People are judging you across the board. That is internet for you. Regrets and apologies are 80% of the messages. 80% of messaging is all about sorry. I didn't mean like that. Right? And open www network removing all filters. And anyone can react to anyone. You put a YouTube video, you'll know how many comments you'll get. Put a comment in LinkedIn, you'll know how much you'll be bombarded. Right? So many things, it's all visible. And understand and comment on the subject is not the criteria. Anybody can speak about anything. Right? How many here can speak about Bible? How many of you can speak about Bhagavad Gita? People are very humble, but people outside they're just speaking whatever they want. Whatever nonsense they want, whether it's a big beard or a cap or a chadar, I don't know. But any Tom, Dick and Harry can speak about any subject, whether he knows or not. That is the world that we're living in, world of messaging, right? And finally, shortcut language, making things only more worse. At least write the full line, right? Now we have reduced it to even more shortcuts. Even more, sometimes, I see my son's mobile, he's in inter second year, my younger son is inter first year. I was shocked what they are writing. Imrasun or I like, he was like, no, I don't know this. You don't know? WTO, HKG. I don't know what that means. They have, if you see that chat, it is only filled with abbreviations. I don't know what it means. Right? Whether it's intentional or unintentional, I can't know. I don't know what they're talking about. Right? But that kind of communication is not good. Especially in corporate circles, never do that. Never ever do that. Full form, every word, right? So, what can I abbreviate this as? Today's communication?
Very dangerous.
Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. He said what? You said what? That's what people get into, isn't it? Okay. So factors leading to wrong communication. You tell me first, then I'll show. So what are the main factors that lead to wrong communication? Please lift your hand and tell me. Come on, whatever comes. Wrong communication किस वजह से होता है? We talked about old and new communication, yeah? Misunderstanding, okay. Not knowing completely, very good point. Why wrong communication happens?
Not matching the thoughts.
Huh? Thoughts not matching, yes, yes. Thoughts not matching, yes. Wrong? Wrong receiver. Teacher meant to somebody else. Kabutar ja, it went to somebody else. Yeah. Anybody else? What are the reasons for wrong communication? Language? Language matters? You're a Pakka Telugu medium student communicating in English. Can it happen? I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a small incident. It happened in my life. I was working on delivery function in one project in America. My salesperson came. Sales guys, sales guys, marketing guys, right? They have to look cool. Yo, kind of. So that fellow did some IIM degree, he did some IIM marketing or something. Well qualified from India. He came to America. And he wanted to meet the customer. So I had to go and introduce him the customer. He was a new sales guy. So I went and introduced the customer. The customer is a lady. She's a senior vice president. She's a lady. I'll not tell the names. So this guy goes and directly sits in front of her as if she is his old college mate or something. I was feeling very uncomfortable because he needs to show off that I'm a cool dude, right? And that lady was pregnant. She was in her 7th month or something, right? And I told, okay, so you both can talk. I have to go, I have some work. So just then, this fellow asked her directly, so how is it going for you? Which month is it? That is the first conversation that fellow picks up. Our Indian IIM marketing fellow is talking to American customer in her cabin, and the first thing he asks is, so how is it going for you? Which month is it? Culture is different, guys. Culture is different. They don't like such kind of question unless you are. Maybe I can talk to her because I talk to her every day, right? Maybe I can go and tell such things. Maybe she might even share with me. But I would never do that to a new person. This fellow wanted to look cool. He asked. So she told 7th month. I said, okay, that's enough for today. Now talk about business. This fellow goes further and says, I hope your husband is supporting you. She doesn't have a husband. She doesn't have a husband. That happens in India. It doesn't happen in other places. You know what I'm saying? Right? You should see her face. I looked at this fellow. I said, and I knew that before that she doesn't have a husband, right? Because some boyfriend, they don't want to get married, single mother. All that concept is there in other countries. It's not there here. So asked her, so I hope your husband is supporting you. She just looked at him and said, yes. Just to be polite, she told yes. And then she told, I have a meeting, you can leave now. I'll talk to you later. And the meeting never happened. Right? I have to take this fellow out for a tea and ask, what's wrong with you? Don't you know how to talk to a customer or anything? मैंने गलत क्या बोला? Right? क्या गलत बोला? Can anyone tell? What is the problem here? What are the problems here? You all understood what happened? I'm giving an example. I'm sure you all must have seen some things like this or different way. What exactly went wrong here?
Getting personal.
Getting personal. Yes, getting personal. That causes big problems. Don't get too personal with people whom you don't know. Next. What is the next big problem that happened? Cultural differences. Who said that? Perfect. Cultural differences, guys. Even though within India also, we are coming from different cultures. Right? In North India, I'm not generalizing, categorizing. In a metropolitan city, a girl might put a hand on a guy in the first week itself. If you do that in Rajmundry, that fellow will die of shivering. I'm telling you. Right? So you have to understand, we are different cultures. Different thought process, right? Different ways of approaching. Don't think that anybody in office I can approach and do anything you want. First know from where is his background. I'm not telling Rajmundry is backward. But culture matters. From where you are coming, what kind of background you have. It takes time for people to open up. Somebody joins new, right? He comes and sits beside you from some other company. Take a little time to understand that person. And then start becoming familiarized, whether it's a male or a female, doesn't matter. Right? So commonly, uncompleted conversations are one of the big reasons for wrong messaging. First of all, understand the full subject, then only comment. You opened your chat, two people are fighting, immediately you want to enter. No, go back a little. If you have still it out, call that person. Hey, why are you, what's going on? Then they'll say, hey, actually, this is why it started. Then you can get into it. Incomplete information, incomplete messages. Second, unopened messages. Most of the time, we assume that the opposite person has seen your message. But sometimes people are not even seeing your message. So many messages. How many times you have gone to a chat, just clicked on read and closed it? Have you done that? How many did it? Lift your hand. Come on, everybody did it. Isn't it? Because you are tired of seeing messages, especially in apartment communities, right? Where you stay. Like one day, 4,000 messages. I live in this mine home communities, which is like, 1,000 flats. I would say 1,000 freaks, right? And they start fighting for each other for no reason. No reason. One person painted his balcony in orange. And that became a big messaging. Why he painted his balcony in orange? Because that changes the decorum of the building. That is his platter, Baba. Inside his house, whatever color he wants. What is your problem? No, he cannot. Then that fellow sends another message with some agreement with the landlord. Then another fellow sends another message that it happened in another flat also. Right? And then by the time you open the message, those people are police complaint is happening. There are 200, 400. It happens. But when you are entering chat message, why am I telling this to you? Because don't react instantly.
Why you block who feel digital?
2 weeks back. People fight for no reason. Right? So, the moment you open any message, you see something aggressive is going on, don't message. Even if it is being on your own person, your friend, first go, get the background. If you know somebody, call, otherwise, just go to the next chat. Right? So, these some things, people do. Another reason, contextless statements. Some person puts a statement, contextless. You don't know the context, why is he putting the statement? But you will react to it. That creates wrong message. Can anyone give an example? Contextless statements. Some statement that you don't know why somebody is saying it. Come on, every day you see that, right? Somebody will come and give a contextless statement. You know what is the context? And for what reason you are making that statement, right? So you need to know the context. Why is he saying what is he saying? Why is he saying, today I am feeling very bad. Now, what is the context? What is the context? You are feeling bad because you had a meeting here for half an hour? Or you are feeling bad because what? So you need to know the context. So ask people the context before messaging back. Why are you saying what you're saying? Next, general conclusions. General conclusions. Avoid that. Avoid general conclusions things. You know? False expectations from others. This is another reason for problems in messaging. You expect that somebody else will react in a certain way. Hey, I wrote nicely, right? Why are you not replying? Huh? Why are you not liking? You know, there was a time I used to message, then I used to go back and say, nobody liked her. Nobody put a thumbs up, nobody put a smile, nobody, what is wrong, what is wrong? It's your expectation, people are in different moods. Isn't it? You can't that also creates a problem. Wrong self-assessments, of course. Next, arrogance that we understood without asking. Right? This is called assuming. We assumed without asking. The English word assume has 3 words inside it. As, you, me. What are the 3 words? As means gada. You and me. As, you, me. Assume. If you assume, you will make an ass out of you and me. That's all it is. Don't assume. Go talk to people. Why? Why did you write like that? What is it? For example, your manager sent a statement today. He just sent a message or guys, today we are staying late, we have to finish it. Now, instead of concluding on him, go and talk to him. What happened? What happened? Yeah, something happened? Project level, something happened? Some other timelines have changed, some technology challenge. What happened? So then he'll tell you. Right? Immediately start messaging, saying that they are saying that. No, it's not going to work. Get the context. Speak to people. Next, silence when speaking is needed. Right? Be silent. Only when it is needed, speak. Otherwise, best language is when you are silent. Sometimes, just hold on to it. Not talking clear stand on important issues. Not taking clear stand on important. That's another very big problem. When there is something important going on the floor, you cannot stand in between and say, I neither belong here nor belong there. That creates a lot of problems. You're understanding what I'm saying? Not only in the office, even in your relationships at home also, you have to take a stand. That I'm for this or I'm not for this. Rarely it is okay, I don't want to take a stand. But it's better to take a stand because that will not cause problems. People will know, okay, your perspective is this. You're all following? Yeah, these are the main reasons for conflicts in messaging. Impersonal communication, we'll get to that. Impersonal communication. I told you already a little bit about that. Next, long conversations in messaging, guys. If a message is going beyond, actually in emailing, there is a thumb rule. 5th email, you should not reply. 5th email. He wrote to you, you wrote to him, he wrote to you, you wrote to him, he wrote to you, no more writing. Pick up the phone. If you pick up the phone, maybe you can write again, but then half the problem is solved. If you again write to him, I'm talking generically, sometimes it can go for 10 conversations also. But better don't let it go beyond 5. Even in chat, you're telling your friend something, he's telling something back. You're telling something, he's telling something, pick up the phone. Talk to him. How many times it happened to you that you call that person, the person is refusing to take the call? Did it happen to anybody? In between a heated up chat or something, you said, you know what? Let me talk. They will not get the phone. You know why? Can you tell me why? They are guilty. They are guilt conscious. That they have already spoken things that they don't have to speak. Guys, the world of messaging is very dangerous. Very dangerous. People end up saying things which you don't mean. Even in married life. Right? Better don't go beyond a certain point. Otherwise, talak 3 times in WhatsApp it will happen. Right? Very easy. Very easy. Copy paste talak, copy paste talak, copy paste talak. Right? It's very dangerous. So better avoid as much as possible messaging. Pick up the phone and talk to people. Sorry, I'm trying to deal with idiots. I'm not trying to deal with idiots. Meaning what? Impatience. You should know that people outside are not easy to work with. They're not easy to work with. Be patient. It is not going to go your way. Even if your intention is right, even if you want to do things properly, simple thing I'll tell you. I'll keep a table outside. I'll keep Tirupati Prasadam on that. What is my expectation?
Everybody should come with it.
Isn't it? One fellow will come and tell, why are you keeping it here? What do you mean by keeping it here? Are you take now? What is the problem? You understand? With Tirupati Prasad, this is a secular building. You cannot keep Prasadam, it's your business, keep it inside your room. There are people like, so I'm telling you, people are different. People are different. So you should have the patience to deal. If you don't have the patience, then you'll message something that will create a big havoc. Better go and directly talk to people and deal with it. So how many agree with these reasons? Wrong messaging reasons? Yeah. Folks on the back, I don't know, can you see what is there here? Can you hear? Yeah? See, I'm spending this time because I feel that even if one point you remember, it will help you in some very dangerous situation. Right? It can happen with any one of us. So look at this. There are 3 doctors. What is this fellow saying? And that is why I told we should lift on 3. Right? So they were lifting a patient up. 2 people did not lift, 1 person lifted. What happened to the patient? That fellow is down, he's holding the legs. What is he saying? That's why I told you, we should lift on 1, 2, 3. This is how dangerous messaging can be. You know, what is the meaning of okay? How the word okay came into existence? Okay. Tinnava? Ustava? Oh, okay. Okay. What is the meaning of okay? It came from World War II. What is the meaning of okay? 0 people killed. That was a code word. So if one battalion calls the other battalion, what happened there? The code word was okay. O means 0. In America, actually O means 0. Do you know that? Huh? They say O. If you ask your phone number, 98490, you might be like, O, what it is? Not O. They use some different words, right? So 0 people killed. So there are many abbreviations. So you should know what you're talking to. Okay. So now, what can go wrong? What can messages do? Right? What wrong messages can do? If something wrong is there, what can it do? We can just tell it, I'm just going to read it through because there are a few points there. 1, it removes confidence in you. When wrong things happen, you wrote something, you had a fight. You wrote something, you had a fight. You wrote what will happen 3rd time? I better not write anything. Isn't it? It removes confidence in you. What else? Unpleasant and rude conversations. If not corrected, can lead to permanent breakups. Wrong message very dangerous. Very dangerous. Negative wrong signals, navigate wrong signals, emotions, traumas, vanquish career opportunities, affecting future planning and execution. Right? Wrong message can do so many bad things. Result in financial damages. You might be forced to quit something that you have gone into because of one wrong message. It can happen. Troubles, relationships, and leading to breakups. Highly complicated simple dealings, wrong messaging, and finally issues leading to loss of self-confidence. And no one takes your word seriously, generate confusion and misleaders. In totality, it ruins everything. That's the abbreviation that I was trying to get. One wrong message can ruin every damn thing. Sometimes, your intention is something and you said it, but the outcome is something else only. I'll tell you one example. There used to be a friend of mine, name is Raghav. So he came to America. He likes driving. He used to go on long drives here. And he was always wanting to go to US so he can drive fast. People have this thought that, if I go to Western countries, I can drive fast. How many like to drive fast here? Anybody? Yeah, you should go to Germany. There is no speed limit there. There are roads with no speed limits, right? But many other countries, they do have. So in US, you have this cop standing near the highways. You never know where they are standing. What this fellow did, he's a Pakka Telugu fellow from Hyderabad. So he went there. He was going on 80 miles per hour, whereas the speed limit there was 60, something like that. And at one point he crossed 80. Suddenly one car came behind him, stopped him, gave him a challan. Right? Now in US it's tracked very nicely. 2 times on speeding ticket in a short time, your license can be suspended. And without a license, you are dead in US. You don't have any public transport many places. So what this fellow did, he got the ticket. He was new to US. So he requested that police fellow, how do you request here? Anna, Anna. Right? He did that in US also. But anyway, that fellow didn't hear. He said, no, you have to be careful. Don't do it again. He gave a ticket. This fellow again, what he did? Again he started going fast, immediately. Forget about the ticket. Again he went on 80s, 90s. After 1 hour, one other police fellow caught him. Same, another police fellow caught him. And he came and he was writing a challan. You know what this fellow did? His intention was right only. He told that fellow, sir, please sir, 1 hour back only got one. And fellow, normally what would have happened in India? And it would have been that's okay. In US, it's a big crime if you do that, right? I mean, you were just penalized, and how besharam you are. Now again, you are doing it within 1 hour. He literally cancelled his license. He took away, kept the car beside. Strict action was taken. So what went wrong here? Wrong words, wrong messaging at the wrong time, isn't it? You accept or no? Can you take one more example? Wrong words, wrong messaging, unnecessarily talking can make somebody lose his parliamentary seat also. Isn't it? Your intention can be whatever, but what that can do? Ruin careers. Isn't it? Ruin careers, ruin opportunities. So if you're, look at this girl, she's telling me, Sarah, I'm very sorry that I spread a rumor about you. I want to be your friend still. How can I make up things? Humble talking. You can fix problems by just going and telling that I'm sorry. I'm sorry still works, guys. One of the sentences, I'm sorry still works. But that should be not only told through words, but even your intention should be like, I'm sorry. Please help me. Impersonal communication. Now, impersonal communication. What is impersonal communication? I just told. When you're not speaking in front of each other, right? So impersonal is one of the most growing ways to communicate today. And it's a misconception that communication to millions bring more responses. It's a misconception. Oh, I've sent it to 10,000 people, now I'll get responses. You may or may not. Impersonal communication never works. Even in marketing, right? A lot of people do marketing. It's equivalent of you sending your ad to million people, or you spending personal time with 10 people. You'll get the same response. Just spend personal time with 10 people, you might crack 5 out of that. If you send to 10 million also, you'll get only 5. Because it's not about sending message to many, it's about personally meeting and talking to people. Impersonal doesn't work. Look at this boss. He's telling to his personal, what he's saying? What we need in this organization is more personal contact. What is that fellow doing? Is it personal or impersonal? Little bit personal, but mostly impersonal, isn't it? He's not there. He's telling that you should have a personal core. What are the problems with impersonal communication? Number one, words alone don't speak everything. Just don't go by words. There are so many other things more than words that people want to say, which doesn't come in chat message. I want to leave. What does it mean? You want to leave, what does it mean? It means a lot, right? If you go and speak to your boss in person, that I want to leave can be something completely different. But sending a message to him in the morning, I want to leave. What does it mean? It can mean anything. Today some project work is there, I want to leave. Today some deliverable is there, I want to leave. What does it mean? Instead, pick up the phone, tell sir, I know there is something important today, but unfortunately something happened. Can you please grant me? Then you will tell, okay, let's work it out. Why not? When can you be available? When can this be done? Or who else can do it? You know what I'm saying is? Impersonal communication can ruin things. Pick up the phone. Just because you have an email and a messaging system, don't use it. Don't tell me, oh no, he'll be too busy, I don't want to disturb him. You will disturb him more by writing a nonsensical message. Instead, pick up the phone, talk. Right? Best thing to do. No emotional feelings seen. You will not see the emotional feelings when it's impersonal. Right? Many of the points you already know. True intentions are not known. Repercussions of rude responses delayed. Right? Like you told something and the message did not come back. What does it mean? That fellow is happy with it? He's so frustrated, he's waiting. It can also happen like that, isn't it? Yeah, so you don't know what's happening on the other end. Impersonal communication, very dangerous. You sent a mail, you don't know what's happening on the other end. But if you go and talk, you at least know something can happen. What else? It can become one-sided conversation. Impersonalism can become one-sided. I told it, for example, right now I'm feeling a little impersonal because I'm saying you all are silently listening. Maybe it's like Friday evening, kab khatam karega. How many more slides are there? Maybe you're thinking like, I don't know. But impersonal communication like this only. One person is speaking, other side becomes none. You don't know. Right? Very dangerous. What else? People can ignore social rules and communication etiquettes in impersonal. You can become suddenly rude. You can use filthy language. Right? Real relationships are not built. Formal communications, not much openness to reveal. Yeah. Impersonal is sometimes very formal, not much to reveal. And one point before that is real relationship. Never ever think that your Facebook friend is your friend. You are the biggest fool on the planet if you think that my Facebook friend is my friend. My Instagram friend is my friend. My LinkedIn follower is my friend. They are not. Your biggest friend is your mother who is tolerating you for how many years you are existing. Your biggest friend is your wife who is tolerating you, right? Or your husband, right? Your biggest friend is a colleague who is sitting beside you every day in the office. He is tolerating you. Beyond this, you're only assuming. You're only assuming that they are your friends, right? Communication plan creates a blockage to approach. Sometimes too impersonal, na? You put a communication plan. For example, when you go on a project, let me tell you this. When you start a project, you put something called an escalation plan and a communication plan. You heard about it? You know what it means? Huh? Communication plan means you tell the customer how frequently I'll update you. How frequently we can talk to each other. Is it a blockage or a structured way? Both. Both, understand that. It's a structured way. But does it limit you to only that? Does it limit you to only follow the communication plan? No. You can go to the customer and speak. I'll tell you one incident. We had a communication plan. It was a very short project, but very high prestigious project. We were doing a proof of concept. 6 weeks we have to deliver. The customer said, I'll only meet you 6 times, once every week. That's all. Once every week, he will come. Now the problem is sometimes the dynamics of solution was so difficult that we had to talk to him more often, but he is not, no, I am following the communication plan. Then one of our team members helped us, unknowingly helped us. You know how? One of my team members was a smoker, and the customer also was a smoker. Right? So every time we had a strategic accumulation of points, we will tell, go have a smoke. And we exactly know when that fellow will go and have a smoke. And guys, somehow smokers like smokers. I don't know how. You might be a CEO of a company, you might be chaprasi, but when you're smoking, both are same. Right? Chaprasi might go like this and the CEO might like, sir. You understand? Yeah. Anyway, so impersonal communication, sometimes impersonal way of dealing creates a lot of blockages, but you can always break them apart. Personal communications really work. You can go and talk to people more often. Informal ways you can talk to people. It really works. It's easy to act irresponsibly with impersonal communication. It can be really irresponsible when it comes to generic messages. Right? Most important decisions are informed without consideration. Impersonal communication means what? Without telling importance. Like for example, a company sends a mail saying layoffs have started. What does it mean? Why are you doing it? Are they communicating? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Most of the time no. And it can create so much havoc. Instead of that, if the CEO calls for a small meeting, web meeting, or in-person meeting, and he actually explains that, guys, we have an iceberg ahead, our company might get impacted, so I might have to take some tough calls. I hope you'll cooperate. Will this help? Yes or no? But if you just send a mail or some rumor goes on the floor that layoffs are going to start, what does it mean? Right? It's not good. This is called impersonal communications. You're following it. What is impersonal communication? Very dangerous. Right? And people treated like commodities. In impersonal communication, you just treat people like commodities. In ancient times, people would love people and use things. They would love people and use things. In modern times, we love things and we use people. Right? Treating people like commodities. That's not the way it works. Yeah. Finally, we cannot get away from impersonal communications today, but we have to take some extra steps to be effective. We have to get personal wherever possible. Wherever possible, try to get personal. It's very, very important. Now, personal communication, you all know, it's decreasing day by day, but there are some very good benefits. I just read it out, you already know. All parties involved are respectful. In personal communication, it cannot happen that you want to be disrespectful. Right? It's not natural to be disrespectful. Have you gone into somebody's house like this? Have you gone like this? No, right? We'll always go. Beauty of our culture, all the houses in olden days, they had doors which are short in height. Why? They do not have enough wood. No, when you go inside, you bend down. The first act itself, you are bending down. Automatically, humility comes in your body language also. Just imagine somebody is coming into a house like this, automatically you'll become humble. The moment you look at him also, you'll become humble. Right? So that is the reason culture supports a lot of these things. At one time, we never used to have plastic plates. Now it's paper plates, even horrible. But never plastic plates. There were steel plates also. Cooking was always done in mud pots. Why? They did not like metal. They did not know what is metal. Why they were doing in mud pots? Anybody? Have you thought about it? Why are ancient elders, they used mud pots? Of course, it's good for health also. But one of the main reasons is you will serve respectfully. You will handle respectfully. Your whole body language will be gentle. When you are mixing the curry also, now it is like bang, 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 bang. No, it will be very gentle. Right? In whatever you do, you are very gentle. Isn't it? कुछ मसाला पीसना है, वो पत्थर के अंदर क्या करोगे? धीरे से. वही ग्राइंडर में, what do you think will come out? Will it be nutritious? No, it will not. Everything matters. Every little dealing that you are doing, right? Humility in your actions, humility in what you do, makes big difference in relationships. Right? When you go home, your wife comes and nicely I made upma for you from mud pot. She's nicely keeping it like that. You can only imagine that. Right?
I think I've already started expecting it to be
Yeah.
After going.
So while going home today, buy mud pots and go. But wear a helmet. You may take that and take care. So emotions are most powerful tool in communication. Very important emotions. Guys, it's okay to show our emotions. When we are actually going through it, don't become plastic face. Don't become plastic face. We are still dealing with people. We are not dealing with machines. In this room, when me and Pawan sometimes we get into planning discussions, we always like so many families, so many people, so many lives, so many jobs. That's how you think. You don't think like, some machines are there. If you don't need it, we'll sell them. If you need it, we'll buy them. No, that's not the way we look at things. That's not the way anybody should look at things. Right? Yeah. Rude behavior is corrected without any delay. In personal communication, immediately you tell, hey boss, why are you angry? Why are you angry? In impersonal, can you do that? You can't do that. Even before you type, 5 messages have already come. Isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Words are checked as people can react sensitively. The words are checked. Automatically they are checked. Right? So you already know this. One-sided conversations are less personal. Social communication etiquettes are followed. You are very respectful. When somebody is going personal, I say, hey, can I talk to you? Are you busy? Some things that you do. How many times you pick up the phone and directly start talking, or you ask, is it a good time to talk? You ask that, right? Is it a good time to talk? Sometimes, you should also know the timing. For example, there is a big meeting that happened on some customer escalations. You're almost losing the project or the project is in jeopardy. And immediately after that, you go and tell, sir, 10 days vacation, sir. What do you think will happen? What do you think will happen? It will not get approved. Simple, right? Because we are dealing with machines or people. We should give time. We should know when to ask what, how to make it happen. We should be smart. Right? Relationships are built with faith and respect. Yes, formal and informal conversations allowing either parties to express the help they need. They can tell the help that they need. These are all advantages of personal communication. You already know that one cannot continue his mistakes too long. One can see the full response of the opposite party, can see full response. The moment you say it, immediately you get the response. What is the part of the body which cannot lie? Eyes. So if somebody is wearing cooling glasses, remove that. Right? Everything else in the body is like plastic. You can't see. But eyes are the place, even in spirituality, in scripture it says, the presence of soul can be seen through the eyes. When somebody is alive, you can look into his eyes. Without any problem, you can look into the eyes. But if somebody is dead, why do you think they immediately close the eyes? Because it becomes so scary. It is lifeless. Lifeless eyes. So if somebody is wearing goggles, it's as good as a dead body because nothing is alive. Remove the goggles. Especially when you want to speak to somebody, don't speak with goggles. Remove the goggles. Let that person look into your eyes. And then whatever you say, it will work. I've tried it many times. You speak on goggles, you never know how the time, because you'll not feel life. You'll not feel life. People, individuality, recognized and respected. Yes. So it's like you are going, what is it? Yeah. So he's telling this person, he's saying, you get along with everybody on the floor. What is the secret? Right? So what is his answer? He says, nobody hates a listener. Nobody hates a listener. If you want everybody on the floor to be your friend, the only thing you have to do is shut your mouth, open your ears. God who made us gave us 2 mouths or 2 ears. What did he give? He gave 2 ears and 1 mouth. What is the meaning? What you should use more? Yes. Use your ears more, use your mouth less. Automatically everybody will be your friend. But what are we doing now? No ears, only mouth. Mostly, that's what happens, right? You listen to me, that is attitude. So personal communication, when one learns to be good personal communicator, he can then also become perfect in personal communication. Vice versa doesn't work. Meaning, see, in personal communication is a read of that. You have to write emails, you have to write messages. But first become good personal communicator. Meaning, start talking to people around you more often, interact, speak to them. Become good at this, and then automatically you'll know how to handle impersonal communication. But what is happening today is that people only believe in impersonal communication. They don't want to talk. They don't want to talk. Right? What does that lead to? It will lead to many, many problems in life. Did you follow this? Very important thing. First become personal, then impersonal. For example, in your own building, there is a WhatsApp group. First go and know people. First go and know people, at least 50% of people. Then start writing in the group. Because then you know whom are you writing it to. You will have less conflicts. Right? So now, factors that make a message more impactful. Timing of the message, very important. Impersonal or personal, timing of the message. Relationship with the party. Time to send the message. You know when to send the message, right? Yeah, a lot of times we send the message at the wrong time. Right message at the wrong time. Anybody can give an example? Right message at the wrong time. Huh? Right message at the wrong time. No examples?
Wishing someone at the bad situation,
Huh?
happy birthday, when he's not feeling well.
Exactly. Right message. So, like I'll tell you one. We were doing C at one time. Me and my friends. We all were writing C. Everybody was failing. One person was for sure going to pass. His name is Lalit Khanna. Right? He was one of my seniors. For sure he's going to pass because he always was a ranker. So we went to the institute. That time there was no internet marks. It used to be a chart on the CA institute. So even before he went inside, we immediately told Lalit party kidhar hai? Come on, Lalit party de de. Like boss, मेरे को marks देखना है. तू क्या देखेगा? You will anyway going to pass. Right? We didn't allow that fellow to go inside only. And it so happened that he failed. But he gave a party. Because the people are literally behind it. Right? So intentions right, messaging right, but timing is wrong. Next day morning we got to know Lalit failed. अरे Lalit failed. अरे वो fried rice खिलाया तू. क्या करेंगे? You are behind me. Right? Yeah. Your mood during the response. Very, very important. Right? Your mood during the, if you are not in a good mood, don't respond. Actually, it's a very difficult thing to do. Because when you are angry, you want to immediately respond, isn't it? Very difficult. And there is no solution for that. Better try to not become angry. That also is very difficult. But if you are angry, better not message. You know, sometimes, I'll tell you what, one of my friends told me, it's very difficult to implement guys. People tell these things. When you're angry, write a message but don't send it. Right? Write an email but don't send it. But you'll end up sending it. Right? That's what happens most of the time. Okay. Contribution of the receiver. Yeah. Factors that make messages more important. You always remember the contribution of who is receiving it. Anyway, clarity of expectations, time gap of response, one goal at a time. Messaging, very important. Don't try to achieve everything at the same message. Right? Sir, next project, don't assign me because I also want to leave from the next month. And by the way, I'm also planning to do something else. And I also want to leave in December. 4 things in one thing. What do you think will happen? Right? Messaging, good messaging means one goal at a time. Achieve one goal, then go to the next one. Right? Yeah. Time gap of response also is very important. Give people time to respond. Then only it will be effective. Finally, medium of messaging. Choose the right medium of messaging. When you have a choice of going and walking and talking, don't chat. Better to talk. And finally, your preparation for the next steps. How you want to prepare for the next steps, you should have an idea of before. I tell you one thing. When you walk into any cabin, whether it is this cabin or that cabin or any manager, are you prepared to listen to his advice or no? You first decide that. Why should you go and ask advice that you can't implement? Right? You will make your life more worse. Why do you want to send a message that you are not prepared to take the response? Right? Better ask advice to people when you want to implement it. Otherwise, don't ask. Don't go to people, sir, sir. I do whatever you tell, sir. Then you go inside and tell, no, don't do. I don't like it. Then what did you do? You created a problem for yourself by not accepting somebody's advice. Right? So when you go to seniors, either you prepare mentally, I will do it or no. Without that, better don't go. Sit there, figure out your own solution. Are you all following what I'm saying? Yeah. Be prepared for the next step before messaging. For example, I'm going to send this message. I already know there can be two responses. Am I prepared for both the responses? And what will be my reaction? Spend little time to contemplate before you speak. That is what I'm trying to tell. Are you all following what I'm saying? There is something important you want to convey. Spend a little time. Don't immediately say. Don't expect the other opposite person to accept it. He'll be in so many prayers. She'll be in so many prayers. Are you prepared to accept a response? That's very, very important. Next steps. Right? So there are, as I said, there are many, many courses that you have to take. Many, many courses. This is about only, it's a very informal topic actually. A dry topic in a way. But I tried to make it interesting by putting the thoughts together. But improving communication skills, presentation skills, this is one of the topics that we discussed today, wrong messages. And conflict management, how many of you know what is conflict management? There are many techniques of conflict management. You should learn that. We'll also do the topic one day. Right? One of the days we'll also discuss. Eastern words, Western meanings is one of my favorite topics. What we mean and what they think. Not only East, even far West also. Working with cross-cultural teams, when somebody is from a different religion, different caste, different background, different gender, how do you work with all those people? These are all very, so all this together form effective communication. Don't think that you are effective communicator. The day you think that you are effective communicator, you already lost the battle. None of us are effective communicators. Neither am I. Right? We learn every single day. We learn every single day. Then only you will be effective in your communication. So, what did we discuss today? Quickly, because we said so many things. Messaging before, responsible messaging in the past. Messaging now, very dangerous. And what wrong messages can do? Ruin everything. Right? She was listening. Yeah. So, two important statements. We cannot get away from in-person communication, but we have to have some extra step to make it perfect. In-person communication will happen, but you have to take some steps. And personal communication, when one learns to be a good personal communicator, then you can go and do a in-person communication. This also we discussed. And finally, don't play blame games. Before you speak, think. As I said, contemplate. Before you think, are you prepared for the next step? Are you prepared for everything? Use that, and most importantly, be respectful. If you are respectful means responsibility, empathetic, sensitive, ponder, examine, confidentiality, and trust. All these things form part of respectful. We can take a separate seminar on being respectful only. There is a seminar I take which means how to respect and being respectful. Being respectful, right? It's very important. Folks, whatever we are educated in, whether we are a CA or MBA or Falana Jinka, whatever degree it is, if you're not respectful to people, people down, people up, people in our peer level. If you're not respectful, you're not going to grow in your career. A lot of times we take people for granted. Don't take people for granted, be respectful. When you're respectful, you will get your work done and you will be rewarded, you will be understood also by people. Being respectful doesn't mean that you will not correct others. Being respectful means to hear about others, their problems also, right? Empathy, sympathy, all these things form part of respect. So I'm kind of done. So any questions, thoughts? Wrong messages? Right messages? No damage. Okay. So it's a Friday evening, but just find out what's the time? Okay, finished on time. You want to add something?
No, I just wanted to go a little practical. We covered most of them. I was writing notes. What are some of the wrong messages that we pass to our customers, guys? Afchananda. So when customer calls for an issue, we say we don't have people to do it. So is he caring about we have people or not? He has paid us money. So our leaders say this one. We don't have people to support you. Do they care? Is it a right message or wrong message? And I joined the call. They said, we don't have the skill set, but we are trying to learn to get it done. Is it a wrong message or right message? Sometimes it is wrong, sometimes it's right. But when you take up the assignment, you need to have the skill set. Nobody cares whether what you're improving. I hired a guy to build my house. He's saying, I did not build any house, but I know I'll try and build it. Would you give a job to him? Practically, I have heard this one. We are busy with year-ending activities. We'll come back to you. Do they care about your other customers? I'm on important client issue. Yours I will resolve after 1 hour after I finish that. Do they care? Wrong messages again, right?
Yeah.
So we lost few customers because they keep opening more tickets. Very bad message. And these are practically I heard in the calls. I have completed my functional part. My ABAP team is not responding. Such a 10 times I might have heard, right? So in front of customer, you say customer cares about functional technical basis teams. And in one wing of ABAP, my ABAP team is the best. There are other teams that are not the best. You are one piece to customer, guys. So another wrong message is my team is best. Other teams are still coming up. Functional, when you call client, issue queries all day work. Functional team is handling ABAP ka how we come. Do they care? Functional team did not give me requirements. Do they care? We have assigned functional team, they are not responding. Do they care? No, you are one single piece to the customer, guys. Yeah. Important thing. My boss did not agree. All business developments. Itna rate nahi denge, my boss did not agree. No, it is not happening in the rate because we cannot justify it. We cannot do it. Your boss not agreeing somewhere is not a business deal for you. That means you have a scope and bandwidth to negotiate. Wrong message again, right? In the interviews, silence is bad. When they ask a question, you have to keep them engaged. You have to talk what you know. If you don't know, I might have missed it. I'm trying to do it. Keep the interview going on, right? You cannot take pause. Pause will lead into low confidence levels, basically. And always, this is what I wanted to stress, wrong message. I came to you saying you did not do good. Then you will say, you know what Swati told about you? Then I'm eagerly interested. This happens on the floor, guys. It's nothing to do with anybody, right? This is a conversation that's happening between me and Lakshman. You add a third person saying, you know, somebody said about you, then I'll say, Lakshman, what did she say? What happened, Lakshman? What is happening? That itself you have to realize it's a wrong message to avoid the conversation. So these are some of the things I was noting it down. These are practical ones we could write in the last 15 minutes I reacted. So these are the wrong messages. You go home doing an assignment and I'll appreciate somebody sending me a message. These are the wrong messages I could give or I did. I want to take some assignment and notes because he's preparing till 2 o'clock here to deliver. You are listening unless you take the homework. Right? These are all lakhs of rupees here. So I want you to do the assignment. Send it to him if you can. Or if you think you can send it to your management, what kind of messages are wrong to talk to a customer? This is more important, guys, today. Right? And I go, why are you not doing good? You know what? Somebody said something. No, me talking, right? And then one rumor they poke in. Then I'm interested. What did they say that? Then they'll say, yeah, they did that and all. Right? That's all crap, guys. Okay, good. I just wanted to add this.
No, nice.
These are all real time. I observed personally myself.
What I told was very generic, applicable in many places, but you should apply it in our practical world. That's the most important thing, ultimately. If you permit me, one thing I was thinking while you were saying, guys, just imagine when a child goes to his mother and says, I'm having headache. And the mother says, figure it out. Or mother says, I'm busy. Right? What happens to the child? Does the child know what else to do? No, child needs help. Let me tell you, our customers are engaging us, don't think only for money because sometimes they're helpless. They expect us to provide that solution. You can't look handicapped there. Okay, if you are even busy, don't give them a hopeless situation. Give them a hope. Sir, I know what to do. Give me 1 minute. I'll just come back.
No, seriously,
Yeah.
one of my head was talking to a customer, sir, मेरे पास लोग नहीं है, मैं क्या करूँ sir? I cannot do anything, लोग
That is
नहीं है,
nonsense.
I'm trying to help you out. So it's creating a personal thing, right? And one day, somebody was browsing. I said, you're busy browsing. And next time, when I say, are you busy? They're thinking, taking it the wrong way. Because I said, you're busy browsing. So every time they think, oh, busy means only browsing. When I ask, are you busy? No, no, sir, I'm not browsing.
Happens with my sons.
I left the word busy.
But anyways, again, as I said, nobody is perfect here in communication. But we should know what we are speaking affects others' lives. It can affect others' lives. I'm using a heavy word, lives, but it does. It really does. Because see, as much as pressure as you are all in your delivery, even the customer is under pressure. Right? His management is pushing him down. He is also having insecurity issue with his job. He expects us to deliver, so he is successful. We are successful when our customer is successful. As simple as that.
That's what we wanted to tell.
Right? I mean, and your messaging should be to make him successful.
Exactly. That's the crux of life.
Yeah.
What you expect, what he is expecting is what we should expect from him, right? For example, maybe I'm not putting it properly. You should always have a mindset of customer. If he's asking for a report in 4 hours, there is a reason for that. You don't say, oh, I'll give it in 4 hours, and you give it in 4 hours, it's not happening. Somebody is asking him, or else why would he come to your life? Or something is happening. So you have to take it positively and make sure you tell him the right thing. Don't hide, oh, 4 घंटे में हो जाएगा. Then his boss will call him, the VP will call him, 4 घंटे में हुआ नहीं, customer will call you, he will say another 1 hour. Again this goes. End of the day, everything is dissatisfaction. And also imagination power is so powerful. When I say something to you, your imagination is so different than your imagination. If you use a wrong message, I can imagine things more powerfully or less powerfully than you, but I have different set of opinion in my mind. So casually, are you busy? No, I'm not browsing, sir. His imagination is, he's stuck there thinking that's the thing that he caught me last time or he told me last time, and now busy means the word is browsing. So imagination is the killer for all of us. You cannot think like me, I cannot think like you. And please answer when people call. You please have to respond, right? Not responding is not a right sign. Then my mind will then, "Ye respond nahi kiya, kya hua, that, this thing, my productivity is going down." The other guy is not responding. Maybe it's a different story altogether. But you have to keep the communication on. Never close the communication, guys. The moment you close the communication, there's a big barrier that comes in. Kal usne mere ko message kiya to he didn't respond. Now I will not respond. Right? Anyways, good. That's a good topic today. I really enjoyed it.
You picked it.
No, I really enjoyed it because this is what happens, guys. There's no intention. If there's an intention, you fight peacefully, you fight aggressively. It's okay. But if there's no intention, these things come into picture. 99% of the conflict comes without intention.
Yeah.
1% intention is there. You have something to fight big.
And I know I spoke a long time, but my last 2 cents on what I told is, again, I'm re-insisting, do more personal communication than impersonal communication. When you have a choice, do personal communication. Because impersonal, guys, it doesn't work. It doesn't work in long term. Especially when you just see you are sitting on that side of the floor, he's sitting on this side, I'm sitting there. Why don't you just come and talk? It doesn't take, okay, if we are busy, we'll tell, okay, I'll get back. Either we'll get back or you get back. But that will solve the issue for sure.
Yeah, Ravi is thinking,
Yeah.
I uploaded the profile, I told you. No, still send an email because process needs to be there for documentation.
Yeah, I mean, impersonal. But back
Because
it up
people
with-
will forget what you said. Ravi is laughing, he like your statements.
and feel responsible. One of the things that we also took about is responsible. Earlier communication used to be responsible. Responsible means what? You value your job, you know your role. If you do these 2 things, none of your boss will have any problem. People will have problem when they see that you are irresponsible. Irresponsible is what? I care a damn what happens to the company. I care a damn what happens to the customer. My tomorrow is a non-working day. Tomorrow is a leave. I've already applied. That means what? You're not responsible. If you act irresponsibly over a long time, people will think, what kind of fellow is I'm dealing with? Right? And I tell you one more thing. Just I'll ask you the question. You have one IIM guy, one ISB guy, one IIT gold medalist, right? And the fourth guy is a person who speaks nicely, he openly talks to you. These three people don't openly talk to you. Whom will you want to have beside you? IIB, IIM, ISB, person who talks. As simple as that. Your degrees that you have taken are either to get a good dowry in your marriage or to get a first job. Guys, now it doesn't matter. We don't ask from which college you passed. We don't care about gold medal you got, silver medal you got, or no medal you got. When you come to work, you have to talk. Talkative, messaging. Messaging is very important. Then care about wrong messaging, but most important, responsible messaging. Responsible messaging. When you're applying a leave, think about the project. If you think about the project and come and tell, sir, I'm not there this time, sir, but don't worry, sir, I'll log in at this time, and I've given this thing to this. You already prepared everything, then you're coming and giving a solution. Why do you think your boss will reject it unless he's a psycho? He will accept it because you have already fixed up a lot of things. But if you're impersonally dealing with people saying, I'm not there, I don't care, then you are asking for trouble. This is again wrong messaging. Your intentions may be right, but your way of medium is wrong. So as I said in the beginning, this topic is very difficult to handle. It is a bunch of lot of things inside. Wrong messaging. Whole life is about right messaging. If you really look at it, right message you get married. Wrong message you lose your marriage. Right message you get growth in life. Wrong message you ruin your life. Right. So respectful. We ended the last slide. Respectful. When you're doubtful whether it's a right message or wrong message, be respectful and tell, sir, I don't know. Tell me how to write it. And sometimes before writing, how many of you read your emails before you write, before you send? Literally read the whole thing. Do it for your WhatsApp messages also. Before that, just stop, scroll back. Is it needed? Do I need to read so much? Right? And you'll definitely feel that so many things you don't have to write. You know, I'll tell you one more thing. I'll show you my mobile if somebody is interested. My father doesn't know how to check WhatsApp. Now he's paralyzed, another thing. But since the beginning, whenever I had to send some sensitive message, first I send it to my father. Because that's my test environment, to say that, right? Development environment, test environment. So I send it to my father never reads. It always is his mobile. I needed a WhatsApp account. So I send it there and then I read it. Then I read the whole thing. And so many times I myself have found like 20 mistakes. Right? Then I copy the whole thing. Then again I draft it. Again I read it. Then put it, go live. Put it in the main environment. Fine, what do you call that? Production environment. Right? Same applies in life also. Especially messaging is so easy, guys. As I was spent lot of time in the beginning, how dangerous it is. Today's world in day and time, it can just go around. Okay? So be careful, be responsible, be respectful, and be happy. Thank you very much.